people, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here, and I'm back again with another video from Douglas Murray, because that man, he ain't looking at nobody's face. Okay, so first time gonna be getting into this, definitely not my first time being introduced to Douglas Murray, and without further ado, people, let's just hop right into the video.
Please. Hello, my name is George Fotopoulos. I would like to make a point to Mr. Murray. The last point you made in favor of the motion was that the people of Europe have the right to protect their identity and that their politicians should respect that right. And I would like to ask you why you feel that the presence of 1 or 2 or 1,000 people with a different identity within a society threatens the identity of the people who were in the society originally. Whether you believe that is a legitimate concern or a primal fear, and whether you agree that when a primal fear drives a crowd, they become a mob, and that a politician should follow a mob and not provide leadership by calming the mob down and giving them a reason. That is my question.
Thank you. And towards the back.
Hello, my name is Eli Liu. I was a student in University of Piraeus International European Studies, and I won't be very quick, but I am against the motion, and I would like to say that European Union was an ex-colonial power, so most of the countries of the Third World were exploited from us. So now we cannot say that we don't accept them, because most of their riches and their wealth were taken from us. And as for what Mr. Voridis said about our values as Europeans, it's the globalization that takes
Just repeat that sentence, will you, please? You stopped in the middle.
Yes, our values. Mr. Voridis talked about our values as European citizens, as humans. Well, I think globalization takes them from us and not immigrants. And about the shadow economy, it's the fault of the state control that doesn't eliminate it. And
right, okay, that'll do for the moment. I think there are a lot of points to pick up, particularly your challenges here to those speaking for the motion. But I want to hear voices as well who are against the motion and would like to challenge those sitting on my left. But let's first of all get those points picked up. Douglas Murray, your response particularly to that challenge to you.
Right, very quickly. First of all, if I were Hassan in Syria, I would hope, among other things, that I would help to rebuild my country after the Assad dynasty had wrecked it so completely. I'd hope that I would stay and help to rebuild the country after the devastation caused by that family. Secondly, the gentleman here who said 1 or 2 people, the gentleman here said, why are you threatened by 1 or 2 people? I'm not threatened by 1 or 2 people. Nobody is threatened by 1 or 2 people. The figures I gave you showed we're not talking about 1 or 2 people. The figure I gave you at the very beginning was that people who identify as white British citizens are now a minority in their capital cities. So we're not talking about 1 or 2 people, and it is very disingenuous to pretend that I was. Thirdly, the lady at the back, you say colonialism. I'd like to return the question to you. I don't deny the crimes of colonialism, not for a moment. I'd like to ask you a question. How long do former colonial countries have to be punished for then? How long do we have to have our identity erased for? Is there any end limit to it in your eyes, or is it only at the point of complete negation? And finally, why is it that it's only European former colonialist countries? One of the largest and most significant and longest colonial powers in history was the Turkish Empire. Do we do this to Turkey? Do we say to Turkey, you must have your identity erased as well as punishment for the past? Almost every single people in the world at some point has done something historically they could be punished for. But why, I wonder, is it that it is Europeans that we are always being heard, being offered that choice?
Douglas Murray, thank you. Before we go to Makis Voridis,
Okay, so we did get into that. Look at this, right? I feel like we as individuals, we are being taught, we learn that the one thing that's literally so constant in life is change. They didn't say the one thing that's constant in individual. They didn't say the one thing that's constant in the cream, in the body lotion, whatnot. In the life, that means in the, like, in general, is change. And change comes with adapting, okay? Like, where do I even begin? Because I feel like since the inception of, you know, me getting into topics like this from Douglas Murray, it's literally been like the same thing, and it's quite puzzling that it's seeming like it's falling on deaf ears, because I'm believing that these people who are coming up here to like debate and ask questions to Douglas Murray possibly should have seen like his previous videos that he made and he debated with like others. So I don't know what could like possibly be their take home after watching those videos, or what type of like orientation that they have that really gives them the zeal, the courage, and just like that will to want to come on here and ask the same question, or like argue on the same issue, like oppose on the same issue that has been supposedly touched on and resolved. Look, if you are an immigrant in any country at all, there is a reason why you chose to leave your home country and immigrate there. I don't think there's anyone who, okay, there could be some people, but the statistics are going to be very low. But I feel like in general, people do love their country. People are patriotic, because what, like, the culture you grow up in, like what, like the things that shapes you into the individual you are is your home, is your comfort zone, and you find comfort in that. So therefore you're comfortable with it and you love it, okay? So if there is something that makes you uproot yourself from your comfort zone to go into another country, there should be something about that country that you aim to achieve that your country cannot give to you, and there is a reason why that country can give that to you and your country cannot give that to you. So if you want to take yourself away from your country to another country that has something that you want, that's offering to you, and you want to make that country like your country, you're going to lose what you came there for. Okay, I feel like I just rambled. Let's say you want to go to like they want to go, like, whatever reason is taking you to Europe. If you're from like any other like part of the world, any continent, and you choose to like move and operate your whole life from your home country to another countries because you want to get somewhere that you're like being limited in your home country. And trust me, the things that you possibly may not like about the new country, your host country, could be the reason why you can achieve whatever you want to achieve there. And as much as it doesn't make sense to you based on like the orientation you've gotten from back home, doesn't mean that it is rubbish or like it is stupid and senseless. Doesn't mean it's not worth, you know, preserving by those people. If you do not resonate to something, if you do not understand something, if you don't care about something, you can ask questions to try to know like that like why are things this way in a certain country or a certain place, right? And if you really totally do not agree with it, either you take yourself back to a country that you can live like who you are and with what you believe, or you just learn to adapt, or you learn to accommodate it. Like in life, we cannot eat our cake and have it. There's this saying, when you go to Rome, you behave like the Romans, and there definitely is something that brought about that saying. That saying didn't just come from wherever. Something actually brought it out. So you can imagine that it's possible that things like this have been happening over the years. I mean, this has been resounding. Douglas has been talking like they have, or rather he has every right to feel threatened if he does. And he is even very vocal about it. He's very vocal about his worries, and he's open about like, you know, what he thinks could be the way forward. I don't know, I just feel like I'm all for rights, to be honest. I'm all for human rights, I'm all for immigrants' rights, I'm all for voters' rights and all of that. We all should have rights as individuals, and also based on like where we find ourselves, but we shouldn't try to take away other people's right because we feel like our rights are not enough. Everyone is entitled to whatever they're entitled to. And if you're uprooting yourself from your home country to go to a host country as an immigrant, I feel like you should be prepared to be open-minded, to absorb really new things that you may not even have an understanding about, because that's just how life is. So like topics like this, I'm just like, you know, I'm just like, come on. I mean, we have been here, we've been through this, but I feel like there's never actually going to be like an end, because we just keep on going in circles. But nonetheless, I did get into this. This is what I feel, this is what I have to say, okay? This is like my take home from it. This is where I want to touch on, okay? So I'm gonna love if you guys engage me down in the comment box. Please do share your thoughts, your opinions, and all of that good stuff. And on to the very next one, people. Let's keep on staying safe and happy. So bye.